7 years, but I definitely enjoyed that season of my life. It was a lot of fun having, people buy tons of tickets, the crowd going wild, coming out, yeah. It was so fun. And
No, so wait, is this how you got the name Money Mandie? Was that like your name? Like, did they announce it when when you came out of the?
No, I was misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor.
Yes, because I was gonna, it was more like a felony when I hit you. I promise that.
Right, things are looking up, my desires are on sight. Gotta keep grinding, make sure that it lasts forever, not only one night.
Hey everyone, what's up? It's Noah from Cola REI, famously hot real estate group. I'm so excited to be spotlighting our next guest that I'm going to be doing an interview with. And I tell you what, guys, a few years ago, my wife went to a networking event and she came home. I said, hey, did you meet anybody interesting? Like, how was it? And she wouldn't stop talking about this one woman that she met at this event. And I said, well, tell me about her. What's her name? She goes by the name Money. I go, Money? She says, yeah, Money. That's her nickname? That's her nickname, Money Mandie. I was like, I got to meet Money Mandie. And we've been friends ever since. And I tell you what, you don't get the nickname Money Mandie without being able to back it up. And that's what she does for her clients. And she's a big part of this community. And she's in here. She's in our group. So get to know her and see how she can help you. But she has 21 years experience in the mortgage industry. She's assisted on over 13,000 mortgages here in the state of South Carolina. She's one of the top loan originators in the country year after year after year. I could go on, but as you can tell, she gets the nickname Money Mandie because she knows how to get people the money. So without further ado, let's add her to the stream and let's welcome Mandie Anderson to the big show. Hey, Mandie, how you doing?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited.
Oh, we're so excited. Here we go. So you got the Money Mandie right there, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Right.
So how's 2021 or how's 2021 been treating you so far?
It has been incredible. First of all, like nothing I've ever experienced. 2020 was what I thought at the beginning when COVID first hit, that it was going to be another 2008. I was concerned. I had, it was so unknown what was going to happen in our industry.
Yeah.
It was fearful. And then the applications just kept rolling in and the rates kept dropping, and programs that had been taken away for like maybe 30 days all started coming back. That confidence started coming back into that market. And then it was out of control. It was like drinking water from a fire hose.
Wow. So you've been busy, and today's Saturday. We're filming this on a Saturday. What's someone as successful as you and as busy as you? What do you do to just chill out on a weekend, if at all?
So I made it my goal to not really work on weekends. I have VIP clients that I do a lot of business with, and they know if they need me on the weekends,
yeah,
can reach me. But for the most part, I'm just with my family, my dog. I like to go, for walks. I like to read. I like to listen to music. I like to have a couple glasses of wine. Just really just kind of hang out with myself and my friends.
How important is that? Because my wife always talks about that. She's like, look, you have to be able to do some me time too, as a successful entrepreneur and owning a business and so forth. How important is that?
Well, for some people, a lot of times I get really obsessed in what I'm doing and just get real hard focused, and I go so hard. And it comes to a point where I'm like, you can't pour from an empty cup, especially if your purpose in life is to give back to others and to do more and to be kind, and you cannot draw from an empty cup. So sometimes you have to take it, fill back up so that you can pour more out to others. And it's that 80-20 rule. So I go hard 80% of the week, and on that 20, I just refill back up my cup so I can go back hard again.
I love it. That's some great advice. That's some great advice. Thank you for that. This group here, Cola REI, we're all about three things: learning, networking, and growing. And I feel like the more I get to know you, the more impressed I am by you. And and not just the numbers and what you've done in the mortgage industry, just in life in general, like as a person. Would you mind inspiring this group a little bit and sharing a little bit of your story with them? Like outside of mortgages and stuff, like how did you even get into this? Like, what's that look like?
Well, I always get a little uncomfortable talking about it because it's quite a humbling story, I guess you can say. Like everybody has, their story, and, not everybody has had, a perfect life type of thing. So I don't feel like I am special or anything in regards to, where I came from. I think it was just more so of that inner desire and my love for people. But when I was moonlighting at El Chico restaurant, and I remember this group of mortgage brokers came in there, and they were fast talking, terrible tippers too, by the way. And they constantly kept talking to me, and they were like, "We like your personality." I'm like, "That's great. Do you want more chips and salsa?" Like, just really giving them, a hard time. And they were like, we'd like to pay you $1,200 a month to come work, as a receptionist, part-time. And I was like, "What?" And at the time I was like, yeah, 1,200. I'm leaving. I'm taking off this apron right now. I'm leaving with y'all.
Okay.
And technically I did. And I started noticing what other people were doing. And I wanted a taste. I wanted to learn more. And I had this desire to just continue to learn. And where I come from, I'm from California. So, I grew up by, inner city, by a teenage mom, not in a good environment, gang violence, lots of drugs, lots of abuse, that was kind of normal. I didn't really even know there was a different world, anything outside of our, territory per se. I didn't know that there was a better life. I didn't know that, people had dinner with their families on Sunday. I didn't know that there was a mom and a dad, and I just didn't know what was possible. And I remember even just dreaming as a little girl, man, what would it be like to just have a house? Oh, if I could have a 2-story house, I would be rich. Like I would just dream about what that would look like. And my goals were so small when I look back at it, because I didn't know there was more. I had no clue what that even looked like. And so when I started working for this mortgage company, they had a different lifestyle. They had a different aura about them. Everything was different, and they were making money. They were successful. And I wanted a piece of that too. And so I made it my goal to learn whatever it was, because I felt like, well, I'm smart. I can figure it out.
Right.
I can do this. And I just started absorbing the information. And since then, I've been in every facet of the mortgage industry, starting from the very beginning, and just worked my way to where I am now.
So you've been through the adversity. Is it, I guess you're kind of like, okay, I don't know anything different, so I'm just going to go for it, in a sense.
It was better than what I had been through. Like, even when I went so in order to get out, per se, to get out of that environment, I joined the Army. That was kind of like my only out. There was no college. You were not preparing for that type of thing. Like, that wasn't even a thought process. Where most kids are thinking about college and high school, we're thinking about, like, am I going to marry a drug dealer? Am I going to become a prostitute? Literally, people look at me now and they're like, I can't believe it. I'm like, no, those were kind of goals. Like, what was I going to do? How many kids was I going to have? How was I going to ride the system? Right. Literally, there was not more that you could know. So I didn't want to be there anymore. I hated it. I did not like living like that. There had to be something better. So I was going to go into the military. I said, I'm going into the Army. And
is that how you got here?
That's how I got here. Yeah, I came to basic training here at Fort Jackson in '95, and I never left. I said, I'm going to make this place my home. People were waving to me as I'm driving. People were talking to me.
You're like, what do you want from me? Like, is there someone behind me? Am I about to get like mugged because you're like waving at me? I'm the same way, coming from New York, and people are so friendly down here with their Southern accents and everything. Was like, this is a different world, right?
Yeah, and I liked it. I was just intrigued by it when I first moved here, and I decided to stay.
Awesome. So someone told me that of all things, this is kind of random, but they told me that you were at one point like a professional boxer. Is that true?
Yeah, that usually makes people a little apprehensive about me. They're like, you already have a strong personality, wow, now you can beat me up. And
Yeah.
I said, no, only for money.
Okay. Yeah, right.
I only fight people for money.
In the boardroom.
Yeah, so I was in an abusive relationship, and I had gained a lot of weight, and I really was feeling really bad about myself. And somebody had said, well, you should try get some of that aggression out and go to one of these boxing gyms and, for fitness. And I started doing it just because I liked it. It felt good. It felt like I could, get a lot of that out, and, carrying all the baggage, even from my childhood and how I was raised. It really felt good to fight something, to hit something, and really just get that out. And I started losing weight and feeling good. And my coach, who really wasn't my coach at the time, he was coaching other boxers, and he was like, listen, you're a natural. I'm like, whatever. And he was like, no, really, let's get you in the ring. Would you be afraid to get in the ring? I'm like, me afraid? I'm not afraid of anything. Like, you don't know where I come from. Like, I'm not afraid. Let's do this. And we started doing amateur shows, different types of expedition fighting. And then I said, I want to become a professional. I want to go next level. What's next for me here? And so, I was an undefeated heavyweight.
Undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. Yeah, no, I haven't been beat up. Everyone's like, so did you get hit in the face a lot? And I was like, that was the goal, to not get hit in the face. You had to move faster, but I definitely enjoyed that part of my life. And, I've been retired now from boxing about 7 years, but I definitely enjoyed that season of my life. It was a lot of fun having, people buy tons of tickets, the crowd going wild, coming out, yeah. It was so fun. And
no, so wait, is this how you got the name Money Mandie? Was that like your name? Like, did they announce it when you came out of the?
No, I was misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor.
Yes, because I was gonna, it was more like a felony when I hit you. I promise that.
I love it. That's awesome. And you mentioned like having coach. So it sounds like you mentioned like having coaching in the mortgage industry with like people that you were watching and learning from, and then having a coach in the ring as well, right? How important has coaching been in your success as an entrepreneur?
I wouldn't be anywhere if I didn't learn from somebody else. There's no way that you can just know things, especially when you're from an environment where things aren't instilled into you, or new opportunities. And, you have to be able to take direction and learn from those who are doing or are what you want to be or what you aspire to be. Learn from others that have already traveled down that road, or that are, willing to pour into you, so that you in turn, can teach others those lessons that you've learned. And it's just like a cycle of, of energy, of helping others up in every aspect of your life.
Do you have a team now with your company? And so do you enjoy coaching them and helping them develop and be the next Money Mandies? Yes,
actually, that's kind of become one of my new passions now, is to kind of pull away from personal production and help elevate them and bring them to a level where now I'm actually being able to coach others who look up to me and are experience a lifestyle that they've never got to experience before, and instilling in them, stay humble, keep pouring into others. Don't worry about the money. I know I'm Money Mandie, but the more you focus on people, the money will come, and you continue to grow your craft, learn more, stay open. You're going to be great. And it is so rewarding because I actually get to see them grow and excel. And it's pretty proud. I'm pretty proud of them.
Boom. That's great. That's awesome. I want you as my coach.
Yeah. Come on to the other side.
Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was a few weeks ago, I saw you make a post on Facebook about some sort of certification. I can't think of the acronym for it, but it was about helping people that were going through divorce and being able to help them qualify for loans. And as real estate investors, that's one of the things that we might come across. Like we focus on motivated sellers and people that are going through divorce. Sometimes the largest asset that needs to be sold or figured out is the house. But we always want to make sure that we put people in a position to be able to serve, to be able to help them, not just buy their house, but help them any way that we can. And I thought, man, what a great angle where if we could align them with someone like you who has this cool certification to help them buy another home or figure that out. So can you tell us a little bit about what that is? You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah,
it's called the CDLP. It's Divorce Lending, Certified Divorce Lending Professional. So it's a designation. It is a study course. It kind of was grueling because it was a lot of things I was not aware of, certain tax laws, implications in regards to property, division of property. There was so much into it that, I'll even admit, I took the test and I did not pass it the first time I took it. I was like, wow, I need to go back to the drawing board. It was not a very ezy test. It took me about a year to get through the course. Wow. And pass the test in order to get through it. Now, there's nobody in the Columbia area that has this certification as a mortgage professional. And so what happens now is that I'm in the network of all the legal teams, that need an expert to come in and talk about that dissolution of those marital assets, whether it be, you can even have a situation where you have a wife that never has worked before and cannot afford to get a mortgage on her own. And so what does that look like in regards to spousal support or, how much down she is going to need so that she can have some sort of quality of life after divorce? Or we have multiple properties based on the tax implications on certain ones or the net revenue of the rent. Like, how are we fair and equitable, to pretty much just lay it all out and just give the facts and options and allow them to kind of work that out, whether they decide themselves with a mediator or a judge has to make that decision because it has gotten that far.
Wow. Okay. And you're the only one with this in Columbia.
Yeah, most of the people who have this designation are closer to the coast, like Hilton Head, North Charleston, closer to the beach, the coastal areas. And then the further up north that you get, or California, it's pretty common to have that.
Yeah.
I had, found out about it on a loan officer forum where somebody was talking about that's where they were doing 80% of their business. They were getting, leads from attorneys, family law, that type of thing. It was a whole different network. Well, I've only been networking with finance and real estate people. So yeah, it was a whole nother lawyers.
Yeah.
That's, of course I'm not scared, but I'm interested. I want to learn more. I want to, at least be able to be a benefit to those that are going through it and be able to give them some sound advice. So it's actually, I just got it. So now it's, I'm kind of working through learning how to, market to that clientele.
Yeah. Fantastic. That's awesome. And one thing I love about you, we were chatting before we planning for the show and trying to get you on here about how you're just like so open to learning and growing. And,
I want more.
Yeah. And I look at you and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person is such an expert in her field. And you're like, hey, I want to learn more about real estate investing, and it's, I think that's what's awesome about this group and networking in general is, we all have things that we're good at. We all come from different backgrounds, whether, whatever a person does for a living, but then it's like the real estate can be like, well, what do you do with the money? Right. Or what do you do? How do you invest? And just diversifying, outside of just what which is really cool.
Yeah, like I said, I would not be where I am today if I did not just try to learn more, learn from people who are doing other things, whether it was for me or not. It's more just, it makes me more valuable the more that I know, because then I can help more, because I deal with people. People have situations, people have backgrounds, people have had, things that a lot of times, even in today's society, I feel like I'm dealing with so many people with so much anxiety and stress and very little coping skills. A lot of people that I work with now don't have any adversity really in their life to really, hold on to. So everything is so devastating to them. And I'm just like, you can learn from other people and take this. Listen, if you allow yourself to be a victim and to succumb to, your environment or the naysayers or the negative, then you won't grow. You won't be bigger. The more you know, the more you can share.
Yeah. And it's also kind of like with that adversity, it's kind of like, what's that quote? It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, right? What counts is how many times you get back up.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. And not everything is for everybody, but I love this group because I'm learning so much about, flipping properties and, how much, how it looks so glamorous on the outside. You see the TV shows and that it's, I'm going to make $90,000 in 90 days. And, but then you actually see the hard work that goes into it, the knowledge, the networking of the people that you have to have on your team, as far as, your contractors. And there's so much more to it that's so interesting to me.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we do a monthly meetup called the REUP, and we're doing the second one. It's April 7th, and you should come. And
it sounds like a good time. I'll definitely check my schedule and make sure that I'm free that day.
Okay.
It's far enough in advance. I think we're good.
Yeah. It's in the evenings. We have we have wine, beer, have a little fun.
I'm there.
Okay, done. I'm done pitching.
Good wine.
I'm done pitching. But yeah, we're going to be talking about different ways that we find properties and find deals during that session there. So look forward to that. How do you see yourself as like, I know your business is phenomenal. Like, you're like, hey, look, my business is good, I'm sure. But how could you serve real estate investors? Like, how could you, like, would it be with rental properties? Would it be helping get buyers for our properties set up? Because I know I saw you talking about how you have like 50 pre-approved buyers, like just waiting for houses right now. How could you?
It's literally more than that. It's probably more than that. So I have a network of people. I get a lot of first-time home buyers because I have that personality to like nurture people and educate them through. So I'm drawn to those first-time home buyers that are looking for affordable housing. And that's kind of the issue that we're in right now, is that there's not a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
And so, I would love to be able to even present an opportunity prior to it being, listed or not listed, or however that works on your guys' side, but
sure.
Be able to present them these, properties prior to it being released to they get like first dibs almost. I mean, I have qualified buyers, but it's just affordable housing.
Yeah. And that's good, because I think a lot of people in this group might focus on that price point of affordable. As real estate investors, like it's good to have your niche and what you specialize in, right, guys? So some people like might say, hey, look, I focus on the higher end stuff in like the Forest Acres area. Some people might say, hey, look, I'm focusing on where the most sales are, because to me that might be like the biggest buying pool, right? So it might not be as big of profits, but there's more people there, so we have a higher turnover, which is good. So I send her an email, reach out to her. Hey, I got your phone number here. Can I put it up for the group?
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
All right. I think I got it right. Is this your office?
That is. I think the best number probably is to use my cell phone number.
What's that?
That's 803-960-9343. All
right, I'll put that one up. That one right there?
Yep.
All right, cool. So we're going to see you at the REUP April 7th?
Absolutely. I will definitely be there. I'm looking forward to it. I want to, just learn and just meet others who are just doing things differently. And I want to hear other stories. That it's inspiring to me. It gives me that juice, that enough to to know that, you know, we're all human and, you know, that God didn't make any mistakes.
That's true. You know, when Christy came home and said, "Hey, you got to meet this person. You're going to go to the next meeting or whatever." It was a networking event. I said, "Sure." So I'm sitting at the networking event and I'm like, "All right, who's Money Mandie?" Right? I'm like looking around the room, like, "All right, who's Money Mandie? Who's Money Mandie?" And it was so funny because then you walked in the door and I was like, "That's Money Mandie right there." Right. And I think entrepreneurs, you kind of like recognize, like game recognizes game. You know what I mean? And when you walked in, I was like, that's got to be her, no doubt about it. And we've been friends ever since. So I can't thank you enough for coming on the show, and look forward to doing business with you. And I hope that this group here gets a lot of value out of this video. I know they did. I know they would. If they have any questions, be sure to reach out.
Thank you, Noah. Yeah.
All right. Keep crushing it.
Get rich or die trying. I'm on my 50s, collecting rent checks, first to the 15. Life and starlight, count my lucky stars, I'm all right. Things are looking up.
NFL football game, and he was an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
So we went there our first time. I was like, I love it here. I love Philadelphia. I love the people. I love the Eagles. And ever since then, it's been like 6 years now. I've been an Eagles fan.
That's
and when
cool.
I became a fan, we won the Super Bowl. See, I connect with winners. When I
so
people
the Super Bowl success is because you adopted them as your team. Is that? I like Donovan.